Hey cousins, happy Tuesday. So today I want to talk about this entire conversation of cultural appropriation and the fact that I think that conversation is tired, lame, and played out. Particularly a pet peeve of mine is when there is an individual that is being canceled or told that they're a terrible person or that they're a culture vulture, when really that's an individual that everybody involved should be sending thank you notes. Now, why do I want to bring this up today? So the first thing I saw after the whole trending again, saying that my president is dead, y'all are going to stop playing on my president's life like that. But I saw that Drake was trending because he recently went on Bobbi Althoff's new podcast called I think it's called the Not This Again podcast as her rebrand. She's the one who had the really good podcast where she asked like very sarcastic, borderline condescending questions. Well, Drake was on there and Drake talked very extensively about the fact that people call him a culture vulture and they accuse him essentially of cultural appropriations, considering that he is a Jewish Canadian man rather than an African American. So I have a lot to say about that conversation. Y'all know the vibes. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Welcome to Respectfully. So I only allow a very limited amount of Drake slander in my house. I'm very much a Drizzy fan, OVO gang. The only time I really can't stand Drake is when he's trying Nicki. He needs to stop switching up on Nicki because sometimes he's fake to her. But he's been on his best behavior lately because, you know, I'm a barb down. But Dricky, the union of Drake and Nicki Minaj, essentially raised me. Okay, I fought hard for Drake and justice for Drake during the whole Kendrick Lamar beef. I still think that entire situation was insane. I have multiple old videos where I talked about that if you want to look those up, and just the whole premise of it being very bizarre to me. But what a lot of it comes down to is, if we're going to keep it real, a lot of the hate that some of y'all have for Drake is the same hate you have for every other Jew. Y'all don't want to have that conversation. People get mad at Drake because he's a good business person, a great businessman, dare I say. He owns a small piece of everybody's masters, allegedly, because he is, again, a smart business person. And he has dominated the industry for over 15 years. And at this point, you can't just blame him. You have to blame the fact that there's not enough talent out there to remove him from his spot. Now, here is the video of Drake that has everybody talking.
Oh, you're a culture vulture, or like like people will describe the collaborative efforts that I've put forth and the artists that I've picked up and lifted up or shine a light on as me taking, they'll put a negative spin on it and try and tell me, that it's a self-serving thing or whatever. And I think I get really sensitive about that. And I think at that moment I was just like, well, you know what? Then don't even worry about it.
And, a lot of people are clowning him. It's like, God forbid a man decides to get vulnerable for a second and be honest. It's like a lot of people have this perspective that if you're famous, you're not allowed to, be vulnerable or be honest about the way that you're being mistreated by so many people. But yeah, I feel for Drake here, and I don't think he lied. A lot of people are mad at him, saying that he's this culture vulture and this bad person. And there's so much to unpack that. And it gets into a bigger, societal and political discussion that we'll, of course, get into. But just from the entertainment industry perspective, let's break this down. First of all, how can Drake be a culture vulture of a culture that he essentially invented, that he has elevated? Okay, you can say all day, like, okay, these up and coming artists, they're new, they're fresh, they're hot, they're who everybody's paying attention to. So Drake hops on a feature for them. Yes, it's mutually beneficial. It keeps Drake's name out there and it elevates their name. But at the same time, you can only get so far in the music industry, similar to politics more often than not, without a certain cosign. Okay, I say this often. I've learned a lot about the world of politics by studying how the music industry works. You have a lot of people saying that they want JD to be the next president. Nobody was saying that a year ago. You know why they're saying that now? Because President Trump has co-signed him and has elevated him. So Drake, being essentially the president of rap, only rivaled by a few living legends at this point, a Drake feature, a Drake cosign, a Drake shout out, that really elevates a lot of people's career. A lot of people that are now household names or have the potential to be, like Travis Scott, like Future, like, you could argue, Nicki Minaj. You could say so many of these different artists, they got their huge big breaks, 21 Savage, because they partnered with Drake. So to sit here and be like, oh, you're a culture vulture, no, he's keeping the culture alive. In 2010, Drake and Nicki Minaj were the biggest male and female rappers. In 2025, Drake and Nicki Minaj are the biggest male and female rappers. And they have elevated so many people, but for some reason, people get mad at them. But when it comes to the whole cultural appropriation discussion, the fact that people are mad that he's a light-skinned Canadian Jewish man. I understand he's not Black American by a certain standard, or just objectively, he's not Black American. Okay, he's still Black to a degree, or of African descent to a degree, but I really don't understand why that matters. I mean, if that's the case, then why do so many of you worship Eminem? That's a whole white man. That is a whole white man that has nothing but disrespectful things to say to Black conservatives. I don't know why a lot of you stan him. I've never been the biggest Eminem fan, but I digress. But when it comes to Drake, y'all are just mad because he's winning. You're mad at the Jews because the Jews are winning. Jews are successful because why? They work hard and they make great decisions and they help each other out. And you know what else we should be learning from the Jewish community? And this is specifically talking to Black folk now. We should be learning about how they elevate each other and help each other out. And then they say thank you to each other. Because in the Black community, you now have all these people, all these Black people mad at Drake because Drake had the audacity to help out these young Black artists. You want Drake to stop helping out these young Black artists? You want Drake to stop dropping music? When Drake drops music, pretty much the entire industry revolves and elevates around that. So if you want Drake to stop, then you're stopping the backs of all these Black people. It's the oldest time story of you have somebody that is helping everyone out, but they get all of the knives thrown at them because how dare they be great? How dare they be great? And how dare they represent something slightly different than what you're used to? Okay. And people that are trying to be woke, you're that friend that's too woke, that's just stepping on everybody's foot. It reminds me of the whole conversation with Aunt Jemima. If y'all remember, the Aunt Jemima rebrand is still something very traumatizing from my childhood. If we can pull up, like, the old school logo of Aunt Jemima, classic, iconic. Look at that sweet lady. Look at Auntie. Y'all erased Auntie. Y'all took her beautiful face off of the pancakes. This was a staple in the Black community. That's iconic. Aunt Jemima's family didn't feel like it was... I know this wasn't Mr. Rodriguez. That was Country Will. It's Country Will pulling up these dry photos. Now, they were there wrong. Is that a real photo? Well, see, Auntie, that's why. No, that's who we fought to keep on the box. That other lady, I don't know who that Harriet Tubman woman is, and let me not do Harriet. Don't do Harriet, Xavier. Let me recant that statement. I don't know who that. Let me keep it cute. I ain't gonna talk about my elders like that, but those old photos were bogus. But this Aunt Jemima, this is the beautiful Black, shining, smiling Black woman that we came to love on the pancakes box. Okay, little things like this, little things of representation like this are what help tear down racism. Okay, because what brings people together more than good food? Honestly, if we being so real about it, everything else is divisive, but nobody's gonna hate on some good pancakes and syrup. Okay, let's be for real. But then they had the rebrand because white liberal women went on this tirade saying that we needed to get rid of Aunt Jemima. Wait, why does she look like Karine Jean-Pierre low-key? Just smarter, if we being real. But then they go and they rebrand to this, Pearl Milling Company? This is so lifeless and bland. This literally looks like the generic brand. This is giving great value. And the fact that I think to this day they haven't changed it back is honestly pretty disgusting. Like, white liberal women, this is what you do. When you corporatize and minimalize and marginalize Black people, where you say, oh no, how dare we have a Black woman be the face of this company? Let's go and turn it into Just Pearly Things Milling Company. Make it milk toast and Caucasian. Just kidding. Shout out to the whites and shout out to Pearl. But this is crazy. Like, that whole thing was crazy and people really thought that they did something positive there. And it reminds me, actually, fun fact, before I went on if you know my backstory, I tried to go on this whole deep dive debunking PragerU back when I was a liberal. If you don't know, go watch my Stories of Us on PragerU.com. But the very first PragerU video I ever saw, the first video that ever introduced me to PragerU, and the first topic I ever got red pilled on before getting red pilled in general was actually back in 2018. I watched this iconic video from Witt.
Hola amigos, this is Witt with PragerU. Today we're at UCLA talking to college students and on Olvera Street talking to Hispanics in honor of Halloween and to see if my outfit is offensive.
Me in a Chinese hat.
Would you guys like to chat with us today? No? That's what we want to talk to you about. Hola. You find my outfit offensive?
Yes. Yeah.
You find it offensive? Do you find it offensive?
Maybe a little.
Do you think my outfit is offensive?
Are you Mexican?
No.
Yes.
I think it reaffirms stereotypes that are offensive to people.
You think people really think Mexican people are like this and carry around marachas?
No, I don't think people actually think that.
Do you find my outfit offensive?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
I don't even know why
It's
they're
not your
mad.
culture.
Cultural appropriation? Why do you say that?
Because you're not like Mexican.
You think Mexican food is like cultural appropriation?
No.
Someone else's culture that we've kind of taken. Is this cultural
Never having
appropriation?
tacos again.
No comment.
You don't really understand what their culture means and what it means to wear these things, like the hats and the maracas.
What if he
You
does?
sort of have to understand where all of this comes from for it to not be cultural appropriation.
It's not yours.
God forbid you snatch a black woman's wig.
Can I just ask you, do you like my costume?
I like your mustache.
Do you?
More play.
Does my outfit offend you?
You look no. You look nice.
Thank you. Do you like my costume?
Yes.
Does it offend you?
Es ofensivo.
No.
No, nothing. That's good.
Me guapo?
This is beautiful.
Beautiful. Acabo. Are you guys insulting me?
No, it's not.
Insulting me in Spanish? Do you like my outfit?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Does my outfit offend you?
No, not at all.
This is so
Some
pure.
people get offended by what I'm wearing.
No, it's not offensive. I think it's you're in the right atmosphere.
Lo único dice de mostacho, no original.
No original.
Now that was crazy.
Do you know who sold me this?
No idea.
Mexicans.
Oh, really?
And so you're white and you get offended, but then Mexican people who sold me this and made me this don't get offended.
I noticed that, yes.
Seems kind of
Her bob got shorter.
weird, doesn't it?
Shorter just from that.
Actually,
You think it's offensive?
no, not at all.
Some people get really offended by this. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Just you're not Mexican, so people think that you have to be Mexican to wear that.
I'm celebrating Mexico.
So you guys get the
Are
gist.
you Mexican?
I am.
See?
I'm not wearing it.
See? Well, that's okay. Maybe we should swap outfits.
Yeah, exactly.
Will Witt, you will always be famous. Shout out to Will Witt. And if you have some time on your hands, go back and just watch some of the OG Man on the Street videos. Those are just absolute vintage PragerU classics that you guys need to go check out on PragerU.com. Now, that being said, it's one of those situations where these Mexican people are happy to see their culture being embraced and celebrated. Doesn't mean that Mexicans are walking around all the time wearing sombreros and ponchos, even in Mexico. That's crazy. And it shows how little these people who are trying to speak on behalf of Mexicans actually know about Mexicans. Ain't that right, Mr. Rodriguez?
I heard that. Completely right.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, what do you think, Mr. Rodriguez? Shout out to Mr. Rodriguez. If y'all don't know, this is a God-fearing Mexican man.
That's right. Come on now.
You're like, where is this going? Mr. Rodriguez, what do you think of Will Witt wearing the sombrero?
Oh, I love it. I think it's awesome. I think it's so funny to see that when he put that outfit on. I have so many friends too that have seen that clip, and I've heard their reaction, and it's similar, where it just goes to show you that a lot of people just like to make an issue out of nothing, and they really think that they're sticking up for another group of people, and they're not doing that whatsoever. They are just interjecting and projecting their own nonsense and bringing that to the table. So when I saw that video, I loved it. I was laughing the whole time, and I thought it was great because it was just debunking that left and right and showing how sensitive people have become, and how I love that Will Witt got his flowers for putting that fit on. So it was a classic. It goes down in the PragerU Hall of Fame for me. So definitely love that clip. No offense on my end, and even from the people that I know that have seen that, they weren't offended either. So again, begs the question: why are people so upset?
Do you think there is a point where there's a line crossed where it does become cultural appropriation?
Personally, I have not seen an example of that, but I don't think so. I think if you want to take it to the nth degree, go for it. And even with Will doing what he did, I really like to see that he was still classy and respectful with how his presentation. I'm sure there are sloppier examples or people who really don't care about the culture whatsoever, and they kind of just do it to make fun, whatever. If you do that, I mean, that's lame. But I think for the most part, I wouldn't trip out over it. Yeah. And I don't know anyone who would, but I know that there are sensitive people who would, so...
Yeah, my take on it is I feel like the only time where it becomes cultural appropriation is if it's more just disrespectful, in the sense like what Will was doing, it was clearly lighthearted. It was clearly with the intentions of proving a point. And even if he was just walking around rocking that fit, it's like people love seeing that element of their culture celebrated. It's fun. But when it's something that's like maybe more sacred, when it's something that is more, you know, either spiritually tied in or like it's like, for example, what I think would be disrespectful is, I want to say it's Samoans. A lot of the islanders, they have like certain dances and rituals. If I was like sitting here just like making fun of that and doing that dance because food was getting ready, like, yeah, I'm doing a happy dance. I'm doing making it into a happy dance when it's like something that they would do if someone is passing away. Like, then I feel like you are playing in these people's faces. That's when I think it's like, actually, if you're going to talk about cultural appropriation, that's when it gets to the line of disrespect, because you have tarnish the meaning behind something that was supposed to be important and sacred. But when it's an outfit or you're dancing or you're just wearing a hat, calling that cultural appropriation and saying that's disrespectful, I think it's just insane.
That's a great point too that you brought up. It depends upon the situation, like for that example for the fit. And so I think to myself too, yeah, take tremendous care with doing that, and know the context. I think the context is key always. So agree with that one. That's a solid point.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Shout out to Mr. Rodriguez. Now, that being said, you know, it also reminds me of just one more example. There's been a number of times where there were music videos where people would tie into like other cultures. Like I know Katy Perry, I believe, tied into like Asian culture with her Unconditionally music video. Asians loved it. White American liberal women were mad at it. But I think a more notable one is when Beyoncé did the Run the World Girls music video back in the day. That video, you know, Run the World Girls, like that big hit she had in like 2010 or 11, something like that. She actually went and she found this video of these Africans dancing. I'm going to say it, so I'm not even going to try to say it. It starts with an M though, but their group name is Tofu, I believe. No disrespect, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but Tofu, they did this really complex, amazing dance that Beyonce saw and thought it was so cool that she went ahead and went all the way. I believe she went to Africa or flew them here, but I think she went to Africa to learn from them how to do this dance. And you can see the connection that she had with them. I know a lot of y'all don't like Beyonce. This isn't about liking Beyonce. It's just the premise of the fact that so many people tried to say, oh, Beyonce culturally appropriate. Because let's show first the choreography. Can we show a clip of the video? Yeah, so this video here, iconic. This whole dance routine, this whole dance break she did with the Tofu group, this group from Africa. And, you know, she had them be a part of the video. They ended up becoming VMA winners because of this beautiful and incredible choreography that they're doing. And again, this isn't about liking Beyonce. It's about the fact that people got mad at her saying that she was ripping off African culture when whole time, little did y'all know, here's the clip of when she went there to learn from these Africans who gave her the blessing. She went and learned their story. She learned it from the talented people who did it themselves. The love-hate relationship I have with that woman is crazy. Sometimes I cannot stand Beyonce, other times I love her.
Identify with the amount of love and passion that those guys felt when they were walking away from the set. It just reminds me of when we first started. It made me feel like I was 15 years old.
So yeah, it looks like she did actually fly them to America from Africa. That's a huge opportunity, and you know she paid them well. So the people who were mad that Beyonce worked with this group, it's like, these people just got to put food on their table. They just got global recognition. They just became VMA winners in America when you know the whole world wants to win over American approval for whatever reason. It's like, how can you hate on this? All you're doing, again, white liberal women more often than not, is you are stepping on the toes and stopping the bags of the people who are actually being benefited. So yes, this all ties back into Drake and the fact that when it comes to Drake, people calling him a culture vulture when really you should be sending him thank you notes for elevating the culture of rap in America and keeping that genre alive. The only reason you should be mad at Drake is if you don't like rap music, because then you just don't like him and all of his sons. And that's all I have to say about that. So thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Respectfully. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you felt about this video, how you feel about Drake, and I will talk to you soon.